Entering the water safely is a skill that all swimmers should know and practice. With the help of an instructor or coach, you can learn to perform headfirst entries correctly to avoid serious injury. Use a headfirst entry only where the water is deep enough, and make sure there are no objects or swimmers in the water below you. Learning headfirst entries is a step-by-step process. The first entry you'll learn is a dive from the sitting position. Next, you'll learn the dive from the kneeling position, followed by a dive from the compact position, a dive from the stride position, and finally, the shallow angle dive. In each of these diving positions, you want to try to enter the water at about a 45-degree angle. This angle allows you to be parallel to the surface of the water after entry and puts you in the best position to steer up and start stroking. Once you're comfortable with each of these steps, you'll be ready to move on and learn competitive racing starts and eventually the progression for diving from a diving board. The first step in the progression is a dive from the sitting position. Sit on the edge of the pool with your feet on the edge of the gutter or against the pool wall. Extend your arms over your head. Your hands should be together. Focus on a spot on the surface that will allow for roughly a 45-degree entry into the water. Lean forward. Try to touch the water and push with your legs. As you enter the water, straighten your body and extend both legs. Once you're in the water, angle your hands up to steer your body toward the surface. Watch the dive from the sitting position in slow motion. Here's what the dive should look like in real time. Once you're comfortable with the sitting position, practice the dive from the kneeling position. Kneel on one knee and grip the edge of the deck with the toes of your other foot. The foot of your kneeling leg should be in this position to help push you away from the deck. Extend your arms over your head. Your elbows should be straight and your hands together. Focus on a spot on the surface that will allow for roughly a 45-degree entry into the water. Lean forward as if you're trying to touch the water, and as you move forward, push with your legs. As you enter the water, extend your legs until your body is in a straight line. Try to stay close to the surface of the water. Now watch the dive from the kneeling position in slow motion. Notice that the diver keeps his head locked tightly between his arms as he enters the water. Watch the dive from the kneeling position again. To dive from the compact position, kneel on the deck just as you did for the kneeling position. Make sure your toes are gripping the edge of the deck. Next, lift up so that both knees are off the deck. Be sure to keep your knees bent so that you stay close to the water. Extend your arms above your head and focus on a spot on the surface that will allow for roughly a 45-degree entry into the water. Lean forward as though you're trying to touch the water. Use your legs to push off the deck. Straighten your legs and bring them together so that your body is in a straight line as you enter the water. Again, try to stay close to the surface of the water as you dive. Now watch the dive from the compact position in slow motion. Watch the dive from the compact position again at normal speed. Once you can do a dive from the compact position, You should be ready for the dive from the stride position. Stand upright with one leg forward and one leg back. The toes of your forward foot should grip the edge of the pool. Extend your arms above your head and focus on a spot on the surface that will allow for roughly a 45-degree entry into the water. Bend your legs slightly as you lean forward toward the water. Lift your back leg until it's in a straight line with the rest of your body. Your forward leg should stay as straight as possible as you lean forward. Bring your legs together as you enter the water. Watch the dive from the stride position again. The final dive from the deck is the shallow angled dive. Stand with the toes of both feet gripping the edge of the deck. Your feet can be close together or shoulder width apart. Flex your hips and knees and bend your upper body forward until your back is nearly parallel to the deck. Focus on your point of entry. Draw your arms back and up, letting your heels rise and your body begin to move forward. Immediately swing your arms down and then forward. Forcibly extend your hips, knees, ankles, and toes to drive yourself forward in a line of flight over the water. Ideally, your body should be nearly parallel to the surface. Keep your body stretched, with your arms angled slightly down and your hands interlocked out in front of you. During the flight, drop your head slightly between your arms. Make your entry at roughly a 45-degree angle. Once underwater, steer up toward the surface. Keep your body fully extended and streamlined as you glide. When your speed slows, kick to the surface, then start swimming. Watch the shallow angle dive again. Notice how the diver pushes away from the side and straightens his body into a streamlined position as he enters the water. Once you're skilled at diving from the deck, you're ready to learn competitive racing starts. Don't try these types of starts without the supervision of a qualified instructor or coach.